What's up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to escape the skinny fat stage. Maybe your arms are really skinny and at the same time you have a slight belly and it sucks. But I'm here to tell you today we are going to escape this weird stage that you're in. I'm going to be breaking down exactly what foods to eat, what workouts to do, as well as what kind of cardio you should be doing to burn this fat and build muscle at the same time. Let's get to it. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Marrow board that I'm going to be diving into right now. This is the skinny fat Marrow board. Some of you are probably stuck in this situation or very close. So this is basically just low muscle, right? Let me actually dive into this real quick. Zoom in. Okay, so what this is basically you have a low muscle mass on you, right? Probably pretty skinny, slightly skinny, small arms, not very bulked up, not very sized up, and you have a higher body fat percentage. So that means you probably have a lot of weight on your stomach. Maybe you have a slight belly. Maybe you really don't have a belly, but you can't see your abs. That's still considered skinny fat. There's different stages to this. And you basically look soft in your shirts, right? Might have some slight pudge going on, maybe some slight love handles. You're just very, very slightly chubby. Maybe some of you aren't even fat. Maybe some of you are. That's okay because we're going to fix that today. And then next is you really don't have any definition, right? There's no real definition in your arms or in your traps, and you want to build a muscle and you want to lose the fat at the same time. So how are you going to gain weight? Oh, I'm sorry. How are you guys going to gain weight without putting on more fat? But at the same time, how are you going to lose fat, right? Lose weight without getting skinnier. So today I'm going to teach you exactly how you guys can build muscle, right? Build some muscle, but lose fat at the same exact time. So first, let's go into the result, which is going to be muscle growth. So going down to cardio, I want to start with this first. Guys, cardio is going to be the most important, okay? So when it comes to cardio, there's two types. There is low intensity, right? There's low intensity cardio, and then there is high intensity cardio. So low intensity could just be walking 8 to 10K steps every single day. It's low impact on your joints. You usually see older people doing low intensity cardio. I was able to get shredded walking. Now, it is time consuming. You do have to walk for around 30 minutes to an hour, but this can be multiple times throughout the day, maybe 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the middle of the day, 15 minutes at night, or this can be 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes at night, whatever you guys want to do. However you guys want to separate this, just make sure you are walking every single day, especially if you are someone trying to lose the fat off of your body. This is perfect for burning fat. I would honestly suggest walking is better than running. It's way better than jogging. Why? Because jogging can be a little bit more taxing on the body. It's good if you want to get in a sweat or put in a little bit more work, but it's not really necessary. If you want to go for a long duration, right, and build up your endurance, that makes sense. But you don't need to jog to lose fat. You don't need to do that at all. All you need to do is do a low intensity or a high intensity workout. Also, I want to mention when you guys are walking, throw in some earphones, listen to music, maybe call a friend, or even watch Netflix while you're walking. You guys can do any of these things. I know some of you guys probably watch Netflix all day or talk on the phone with your friend for a while, or maybe you're texting. You could text and walk. You can talk to a friend and walk and watch a video or listen to music. So I just want to throw that in there. Next is high intensity cardio. So HIIT basically stands for high intensity interval training. So this is optional, but if you really want to speed up the fat loss process, I suggest doing HIIT. So this can be sprinting, right? This can be sprinting for 20, 30 seconds and then resting for a minute and then repeat. Sprinting for 20, 30 seconds, resting for a minute, then repeat, and doing around 5 to 8 rounds. A different variation would also be high intensity circuits, right? So for example, we can be doing burpees, making sure you guys are actually being explosive. This is key. When you guys are doing high intensity workouts, you're not half-assing this. You're not going through the motion, I call it. It's basically not going 100%. You are giving your all. Because with high intensity workouts, you're only doing around let's say 15 to 20 minutes max. It's short. It's really short out of your day, but it absolutely fries your nervous system and shreds fat very fast. So make sure you're putting your all into your burpees when it comes to jumping and doing the push-up. Next, we are going to be doing mountain climbers. So when you're doing mountain climbers, I want you guys acting like you're sprinting, but in the push-up position, driving your knee towards your chest while flexing your core and keeping your glutes flexed as well. This is going to be very, very important. Next workout we're going to be doing is going to be jumping lunges. Make sure you guys are explosive on the jump. Again, we're only going to be doing this workout for 40 seconds. Next, we are going to be doing push-up to plank. This is going to be at the very end. At this point, you guys are going to be very, very tired. Make sure you are controlling your breathing. I do not want you to be doing a banana back. That means where your ass is sticking up in the air. I want your back completely flat, core and glutes both engaged together using pelvic tilt in a straight line. And last but not least, we are going to be doing high knees, making sure you are explosive, driving your knees up, planting your foot into the ground, and driving back up. This is going to be very, very essential for burning fat. Now, you guys are going to be super gassed at the end of these workouts, especially if you are going 100%, because this is how the high intensity circuit is going to go. We're going to be doing 40 seconds for each workout. I want you guys to not rest in between at all. And then at the end of that workout, at the end of that circuit, then you could rest 60 to 90 seconds and then you repeat. And we're going to be doing this for 4 to 5 rounds. Now, guys, this is going to be very, very tiring. This is going to take a lot of energy out of you guys. So if you guys can't get through the full workout and you're way too tired, that's when I want you to take 15-second rest in between max. So between each of the individual workouts, like between doing high knees and doing push up to plank, you would take a 15-second break. And then you would go on to the next workout to whatever that is. Say you're doing burpees, you would rest 15 seconds after the 40-second interval for burpees. Then you would go into mountain climbers. Does that make sense? So it'd be 40 seconds, 15-second rest, 40 seconds, 15-second rest, and so on. And then at the end, you would rest 60 seconds to 90 seconds. But push yourself. Do not start with 15 seconds. Try to do this workout all the way through without resting in between. Really push yourself. Now, this is very, very taxing on your nervous system. So you are only going to be wanting to do this 2 to 3 days out the week max. I would say 4 to 5, but if you're actually working out, doing what you're supposed to, you are going to be gassed and you want to save your energy. So cardio was the very first pillar that I wanted to talk about and the most important. But next, I want to go back up and go back to resistance training. So right here in resistance training, we are going to be training 3 to 5 days per week. I personally train 6 days out the week because I believe you need to hit each muscle group twice a week to really build it. I don't believe hitting legs once a week. I don't believe in hitting your upper body once a week. No, if you really want to build a muscle, you need to be training 6 days out the week minimum. I know a lot of you guys are busy. I was busy too, but this can be a 30-minute workout, right? This can be a high intensity workout. This can be a small circuit of push-ups, squats, and mountain climbers. So make sure you're training 5 to 6 days out the week, okay? And you should be walking every day. If you guys don't have time to work out, you should at least be walking every single day. So next, we are going to be doing compound movements. So what does compound movements include? Compound movements are anything that include not the major lifts because we're doing calisthenics, but the major workouts, which would be push-ups, squats, pull-ups. Those are the 3 compounds. Push-ups, squats, and pull-ups. Those are the main, right? Push-ups for our chest and shoulders and triceps, squats for our legs, and pull-ups for our back. Next is going to be progressive overload. Take a picture if you need to. Write it down. You guys, okay, also pause real quick. If you guys aren't taking notes, you're just watching this, pause the video, get your phone out and take notes, or go grab a pen and a piece of paper because write this down. Because I don't want you guys to have to come back and watch this video and be like, wait, what did he say again? Take the time out of your day. I don't care if you were in school 10 years ago, 40 years ago. Take some notes on this because this is what's going to help you out. So a lot of you guys have been procrastinating for a long, long time, holding things back. And if you were to watched this video a while ago, or if you were to even ask to get on a call with me so I could break some things down, you wouldn't be in the situation that you're in right now. So take some notes. Thank you. Next is progressive overload. And progressive overload, that just means increasing the intensity over time. I see a lot of people doing push ups every single day, and I hate to see this because that's not building any muscle. That's just building strength. And yes, we want to build strength, but we actually want to build size, right? We want to look bigger. We want to have a nice physique. So progressive overload just means making your workouts harder over time, increasing the intensity. So say you're someone that's just doing 3 sets at 10 push-ups, and the next time you're doing 3 sets at 10 push-ups, and the next time you do the same thing, you're not increasing any intensity. So you're not going to get bigger. You want to do 3 sets of 10 push-ups. Then next time, maybe try 3 sets of 12. And then maybe next time, 3 sets of 15. And then if 3 sets of 15 push-ups gets easy, okay, well, this is easy now. So do I do 20? Maybe bump it to 20. Okay, 20 is easy. What can we do after 20? I wouldn't suggest going over 20 to 25 reps, because once you pass 20 to 25 reps, that just becomes endurance at that point. People can train like that. You will build muscle, but you want to stay between 10 to 20 reps max. 10 to 20 reps max, I suggest. 20, 25 max. I won't even include it in there. But once the push-ups get easy, my point is you want to make it harder. So how can we make the workouts harder? You can add weight, right? Getting a weight vest. You can do different variations like incline push-ups, decline push-ups, archer push-ups. And remember, this isn't just for push-ups, this is for pull-ups too, right? Weighted pull-ups. And then last but not least, you guys can go slow on the way down, doing the negatives, doing the eccentrics, right? That could be doing a pull-up and then go all the way up and then go down for 3 seconds, right? Like 1, 2, 3. Actually feel your lat contract, or actually feel your lat expand, and then do another pull up, right? Pull back up, go down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Same thing with the push up, right? Do a push up and then go down for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Feel your chest expand, really feel the expansion, and then push and squeeze your chest together, having that mind muscle connection. So that's basically progressive overload, just making your workouts harder over time. So next we're going to move into what the workout should include. So this is what you guys should be doing. This is called a split, right? Organizing your muscle groups together so you're not just doing random workouts. I'm sure some of you have heard of this before. Maybe none of you have heard of it before, but we're going to be doing push, pull, and legs. That's the foundation. We're going to be doing push for our chest, shoulders, and triceps, and then we're going to be doing pull for our back and our biceps, and then legs, of course, right? For push day, we are going to be doing push-ups, dips, and pike push-ups. Those are going to be the main workouts we're going to be doing. Then for pull, we're going to be doing pull-ups and rows, okay? And then next, last but not least, is legs. We are going to be focusing on squats, Bulgarian split squats, and pistol squats. These workouts alone will help you guys go very far into building muscle and building a nice physique with progressive overload. With progressive overload, okay? So I see a lot of guys, they do calisthenics, but they're not very big, right? They're not like, it's not very impressive. You would think calisthenics would build a small, lean physique, but with progressive overload, with eating a high amount of protein and going to a calorie surplus and bulking up, you could build a lot of size. You could build a lot of size and get very strong. Now, it looks different from a bodybuilder physique. It looks more, the muscle's more dense, it's more lean, almost like an anime physique, as if I would call it, right? You look very lean, athletic, and strong, but you're not small whatsoever if you're lifting with intensity. All right, next I want to go into how muscle growth stems from progressive overload. I know we just talked about it, but I actually really want to make sure this stays in your guys' head, because a lot of my clients and a lot of people struggle with building muscle when it comes to progressive overload. And I'm sure some of you have heard about it. I'm sure some of you have heard about it. I'm sure some of you haven't heard about it. But again, it's just making your workouts harder over time, always progressing, always becoming better. For the clients that are in my program, I'm making sure they're always progressing, always getting better. Even me, I am getting better every single day, mentally and physically, right? You're always wanting to improve 1% better every single day. We take it that far. Yes, I take it that far. So as you see right here, progressive overload. We are so as you see right here, progressive overload. Like I said, you want to add reps. Recap. 20 to 25 reps max. I wouldn't be shooting for 30, 40 plus reps, especially for like push-ups. Especially for push-ups, you can aim for doing 3 sets of 30 or 40 push-ups. You will build muscle if you're just starting, but over time you're just going to get strong. So if you're just starting and you just want strength, sure, max out on push-ups. Get to 30 or 40 push-ups. But if you really want to build muscle, you are going to have to aim for 10 to 20 reps, specifically with going slow on the way down, right? With slower tempo, or adding weight, like adding a weight vest, right? Putting a weight on your back, making sure you're actually pushing some weight up. Or you could add weight and adding slow tempo, right? So progressive overload is just shocking the muscles, just making sure the muscles are like, whoa, what is going on? So they break down and grow. Your muscle doesn't know if it's curling a dumbbell or doing a pull up, right? All it knows is that it's working hard and it feels the intensity and the resistance. So as long as that resistance is intense enough, you will build muscle. That's it. People confuse calisthenics with, weightlifting and like which one's better. It doesn't matter as long as the workouts are hard over time, you will put on size. Okay? So again, add reps, add weight, do harder variations. Like for example, when you guys are squatting, squats are going to get easy. We are walking every single day. Our legs are strong. So doing normal squats aren't going to get our legs very big. That's why people add weight. That's why people do Bulgarian split squats. That's why people do pistol squats, right? Single leg calf raises, single leg glute bridges. But eventually we add weight for the leg because our legs can bear a lot of weight, and to get them jacked, get them actually big, you're going to have to add weight eventually. So now that you guys understand progressive overload, now we know that's going to lead to muscle growth, right? And to get muscle growth, first off, your calories have to be on point. So if we're looking at the amount of calories, you guys want to be in a slight deficit. This is very, very important, probably the most important part of the whole presentation. So pay attention. You guys need to have calorie control. So you guys are going to be doing something called body recomposition. Let me zoom in a little bit. Body recomposition, okay? You are going to recomp your body. And what that usually means is you are going to be staying almost the same weight while losing fat and building muscle at the same time. That's why when people are doing a body recomposition, you will be at the same weight. Like, wait a minute, I'm not gaining weight or I'm not losing weight. That's because you're losing fat and building and replacing it with muscle at the same time. So the scale doesn't really change, but your physique does. This is why we need to take progress photos. So the most important part is, guys, to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit, right? That just means eating less calories than your maintenance. So imagine this is your maintenance calories. You need to be in a deficit. That's how you lose weight. To gain weight, to build muscle, you need to be in a surplus. So how can you guys lose fat but also be able to build muscle at the same time? You guys are going to be in a slight deficit, a very, very slight deficit, to where your body's like, okay, I'm under my maintenance, but I have enough nutrients and I have enough calories to where I could still build muscle. So 2 to 300 under your calorie maintenance. Now, let's say you don't know what your maintenance is. How are you going to figure out your maintenance? I want you guys to go onto ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT this prompt right here. Hey, ChatGPT, I'm trying to figure out my maintenance calories. Can you ask me as many questions as you need to help me figure that out? And then he or she or it or whatever that AI thing is will go into that. And then that's how you can kind of get a grasp of exactly what your maintenance is. It's going to be asking you, how many steps are you doing throughout the day? What kind of job are you working? How much activity are you doing throughout the day? This is how you figure out your maintenance calories. And it may be like slightly off, but you'll be very, very close. And at least you have an idea instead of not tracking or knowing anything at all. So once you figure out your maintenance, let's say your guys' maintenance is 2,800, right? And to go into a body recomp, I said you need to be in a slight deficit of 200 to 300 calories. So if your maintenance is 2,800, you would be at 2,500 or even 2,600. That way you guys are losing weight, but you have enough calories to build muscle. Now, the next very, very important thing you guys have to know is if protein is not included, you guys are not going to build muscle at all. You could be doing everything right. You guys can be doing everything right. You could be training 5 to 6 days a week, hitting your muscle groups twice a week, doing the push pull leg split I taught you. You could be doing the cardio, losing weight. The only thing that will happen if you're doing everything right without protein is you will just be losing weight, but you won't be building muscle. Do you understand that? You will only be losing weight, but you will not be building muscle. So it is very, very important that you guys are eating high protein. Okay, so now that you understand that protein is the number one factor, you should be eating they say 0.8 or 0.7 to 1 gram per body weight. I want you eating 1 gram per body weight. Now, if you are obese and you're like 300, 400 pounds, that's completely fine. But that doesn't mean you should eat 3 to 400 calories per body weight, right? So that's when you would use the 0.8 or 0.7. But if you're not super, super obese and you're just slightly overweight, right? Most of you guys who are in the skinny fat stage, I want you eating that amount of protein in your body weight. So if you're 180, eat 180 grams of protein. If you are 110, eat 110 grams of protein. And honestly, it's okay to go over. It's okay to go over your protein. You don't need to go over a whole bunch. Like, for example, if you weigh 150 and you hit 170 grams of protein, great. There's nothing wrong with that. But of course, don't like try to shoot for 200 grams of protein when you weigh 150. So aim for 1 gram of protein per 1 pound per body weight. Hopefully that makes sense. Last but not least, just to reinforce, this is basically just another version of progressive overload. I want you guys increasing intensity, basically making sure your workouts are hard, right? Not doing the same thing. Eventually, I want you guys adding weight, adding weight. When you do pull-ups, when you can do 3 sets of 10 easy or even 3 sets of 8 easy, maybe put on 20 pounds and start doing pull-ups for 4 to 5 reps, 4 to 6 reps. This is going to help you get jacked through bodyweight training. You can start going slow on the way down, which will also build muscle, but just increase the intensity of your workouts. When you guys are doing the high intensity cardio, increase the intensity. Don't just show up every single day and give the same amount of effort. You guys should be improving every single time. Okay, I did 3 rounds. That felt good. Next time I'm going to aim for 4 rounds. Next time I'm going to aim for 5 rounds. I wouldn't go past 5 rounds though. And then in between those rounds, it's like, okay, I went really hard. Next time I'm going to go harder. Next time I'm going to put even more effort. I need you guys to have discernment. I need you guys to be honest and have integrity and know how much effort you're putting into yourself. You know how hard you can go. You know if you could push harder. You are the only person that can be like, you know what? I could have went harder that time. I could have done another rep. I could have gave more intensity and more effort. Have integrity and be honest with yourself because I can't be there for you. So I can't tell you guys to go harder. You need to do that yourself. Last but not least, this leads to a lean muscular physique. This will lead to you guys being able to gain muscle and building size from home. I promise you, but you have to do this consistently. You have to believe in yourself and you can't give up, okay? You can do this for 2 to 3 weeks, but then if you stop for a week, the cycle will start all over. You could do this for a month, but if you stop for 2 weeks, the cycle will start all over. You need to be consistent for months and months, and you will get the best result. Now, eventually, you guys are going to be lean enough to where you're like, okay, I have a 6 pack. I'm looking decently shredded. I'm happy with the body that I'm at right now. Maybe you can fully see your ab definition. You can see your obliques, and you're like, okay, I'm looking good. Then you could start to lean bulk, not bulk, lean bulk. Basically, only going into a slight surplus, 200 to 300 calories, and that's it. But guys, make sure you are tracking your calories. If you don't know how to track your calories, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. Or if you have any questions on this chart, I will go over it again for you in person if you want me to. And other than that, some apps you can use is MyFitnessPal, Lose It, and CalAI. That one does cost money, but that's the one I use. I think it's like 30 for the year. Now, if it allows you to take pictures, don't take a picture of a burger and be like, oh, here's a picture of a burger, 300 calories. I tracked my calories. Don't do that shit, okay? You could take a picture of a burger or a sandwich and it could be like 1,000 calories and it'll pop up and say 500. Actually use your brain, guys. If you know there's 2 patties in there, put in 2 patties. Okay, there's 2 buns. Okay, lettuce, and actually track the calories. Don't just be the guy that takes a picture of his meals and be like, "Yep, tracking my calories." Don't be that person. Another thing you could do is get a scale so you can weigh your food, right? Of course, weigh it through ounces. And another thing you could do is just track it through measuring cups and things like that, or table.
All right, guys, that was the end of the video. Hopefully this helped you have a better understanding of how to burn the fat and build muscle at the same time. If you guys are still confused on anything, feel free to reach out to me at Giovanni_Fiderio on Instagram. It's linked in the bio. And if you guys are ready to take it to the next level, not just with your physique, but with your mindset, reach out to me on Instagram or book a call in the link in the bio, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.